All right. So, what does this presidency or potential presidency, if once he's confirmed, of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris mean for Nigeria? Joining me now to discuss this is a senior analyst from SBM Intelligence, Joachim Macebong. Joachim, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So your report, great to have you. I have a quote here from you, from your report, that is, saying that it's tempting to think that the Biden presidency will simply extrapolate from the Obama administration. What is more likely is that Mr. Biden will continue Mr. Trump's policy of, quote, making America great again in one key respect of trade. Can you expand on that, please?
Yes. So one thing that we have seen that led to Trump's rise was the economic issues that led to the blue wall in the U.S. Midwest collapsing and going to Trump in 2016. Between the states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, Donald Trump flipped those three states by about 78,000 votes, which gave him the victory over Hillary Clinton. Now, Biden has come back to reverse that. And a key fundamental part of why that happened was because Biden and the Obama administration in general were key to the auto bailouts that saved many jobs in that area. Now, the point being that with these economic issues, the priority for the administration to bring the country together will be focusing on reshoring American jobs. Now, anybody that is familiar with the last 4 decades or so of globalization will remember that offshoring has been one of the major things that have impacted American society and the economy, as that economy has shifted more from manufacturing to more of services. Now, if Biden continues this policy as he stated, with buying American, investing in America, and then making sure that supply chains come back to America, what is going to happen is that those quality jobs are going to return to the country, and they will improve the economic conditions of many of the people who decided to give him their vote once again in this 2020 election cycle. He has won those 3 states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, and if he keeps to his campaign promises, the support for him in those areas will only grow.
Okay, great. So what does that mean for Nigeria then? Would it perhaps mean less? I think a report talked about, maybe less oil purchases from Nigeria, which have been dropping from the U.S. How would that work out?
Yes, American energy independence is something that has been seen as the holy grail for the country, as it were. America is now producing much more energy than it used to. And as a result, its imports of oil from places like Nigeria is dropping really quickly. There is no reason to think that under a Biden administration that this is going to change. It is likely to only accelerate as first of all, they continue to exploit their own natural crude oil capacity and to export same. And also, any potential shift to a green economy is also going to impact their oil imports from Nigeria and elsewhere. So this is a trend that we expect to continue, yes.
All right, great stuff. So we can't talk about trade without talking about the World Trade Organization and, of course, the candidacy of Dr. Okonjo-Iweala. What do you think now happens? Because it's expected that perhaps the Biden administration will be, more friendly towards her being confirmed. But Trump is still president until at least January 20th of 2021. So how do you think that's going to work out?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, today is the day that the WTO is supposed to reconvene to see if they can break the impasse that is the result of America's support for the South Korean candidate that currently stands against Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Now that Biden is the presumptive president of the U.S., what is likely to happen is that meeting may well be postponed till after Biden gets inaugurated. And in that scenario, it is unlikely that the opposition to her candidacy is going to continue. It's important for us to understand that the WTO thrives on consensus, because in the 25 years of the WTO, there has never been an election for the position of Director General. And if for any reason this is pushed to a vote, it is going to only worsen the issues that the WTO has had to deal with and will have to deal with if it is going to continue to be anything like an effective arbiter of global trade issues. And so we expect that upon Biden taking office, that this opposition, one way or the other, is going to be resolved fairly quickly, so that the WTO can then focus on dealing with the range of issues that are impacting global trade right now.
All right, thanks. Your report also highlights immigration policy. In what way will Biden differ from Trump, and how will Nigeria benefit, if at all, from a change in immigration policy from the U.S.?
Yes, so Donald Trump's positions on immigrants and immigration is something that has been a cornerstone of his appeal to his GOP base. Some of you may remember Trump being one of the major boosters of a better conspiracy against Barack Obama that started around 2010 or so, basically saying that Barack was not born in the United States. And then upon announcing his candidacy in June 2015, he made a range of wild accusations against immigrants, especially Mexicans, calling the Mexicans that come into the U.S. rapists and so on and so forth. We all remember his shithole, his comments about shithole countries and so on. And also, as soon as he came into office, one of the first things he did was to place a ban on immigrants from about 6 countries. Sorry, it was 8. Initially, it was 8 countries. Chad was among those countries. And basically, the idea was that the countries, were not sharing enough information with the U.S. regarding the links to terrorism or potential links to terrorism between immigrants from those countries and the U.S. government. But then in February this year, January 31st this year, yes, Nigeria was added to another list of 6 countries. And this news came as a shock to the Nigerian delegation, who were supposed to meet with the U.S. government on a number of issues as well. So they were not informed. It also they found out the way everybody else found out. And one of the things that Biden has promised as a part of his campaign promises is to rescind the executive order that has those 13 countries on that travel ban list as one of the first acts of his office. This is on top of making progress with regard to dreamers in the U.S. and sundry issues. Basically, what Trump has tried to do is that he has tried to increase the barriers to immigration through a number of issues working hand in hand, of course, with the Department of Homeland Security. Many of those measures were taken by executive order and can subsequently be revoked by executive order.
By Biden.
Yes, and we can safely expect that to happen under a Biden administration, yes.
Fantastic. Joachim Macebong, senior analyst at SBM Intelligence, thank you so much for your time and taking us through what to expect from a Biden presidency and how it will impact Nigeria.